Well, like many of you, I come to this field through rocket science. I'm especially grateful to Ms. Anderson for showing a picture of a rocket engine, which to an engineer is a true thing of beauty, but to a fluid dynamicist, it's next to godliness. Okay, let's get to the stuff. So a lot of physical systems can be modeled by the interaction of little elements. Now, this interaction is key because it provides this feedback, which we've heard about from several artists already. It provides a feedback mechanism to move into the future, to predict the future, to generate new content. So in this real-time piece, for example, these elements are vortexes. These are little particles. They're bigger, they're smaller, whatever. And they all carry values with them. They carry this value called vorticity. It's a vortex. It's a strength of circulation. And every one of those particles, every one of those elements affects every other element in the whole simulation. And we're going to march forward in time doing this. Now, we can also look at pixels, for example. This is a video. Every pixel in this video is one of these elements. And what it does to find out how its color changes is it compares itself to its nearest neighbors. It says, what's your value for this? What's your value for this? It looks a little bit farther, and it says, OK, I'll take a little bit of your values from these farther people, and it looks through the end of the field, and I'll take a little bit of their value, too. And that feedback can progress these simulations in time in ways that I could never imagine. The elements themselves don't have to be pixels or particles. In this case, they can be triangles. There's a sheet upon which there is this vorticity, this curl quantity. And those sheets move themselves, making these very strange shapes. Like I said, I don't really know what a lot of these shapes are going to come out as. I have an idea. I start the program. I know, for example, that I want a large glass blobby thing that's green and that rolls over each other. But when I started the simulation, it was just 3 spheres. I didn't know it would smash into each other and make this shape of a woman walking down the stairs. And that's the trouble with algorithmic art. So the formulas of fluid dynamics, we've known those for 150 years. So why am I even doing this? What's the art in this? It turns out that those equations just simply can't be solved for anything other than remarkably simple situations. To get anything remotely complicated like this, you have to simulate it. You have to break this huge problem up into tons of tiny little bitty problems and kind of approximate what their solutions are. And the first time this was done was in 1931 by hand using 7 or 8 vortexes. I prefer to use a billion vortexes and use a computer. So many of these simulations need to run on very large computers. Some of them, for example, this one took about 5 or 10 minutes per time step. This is not something that happens in real time. I can't wave my hands in front of this and watch it swirl around, but I can set initial conditions that I think are going to produce something beautiful. And if I can do that, and if it turns into something beautiful, I'll embrace it and let it go, and maybe tweak it, maybe come back and find something new that I like about it. But without really powerful computers, I really couldn't do a lot of what I do. In fact, when I started doing this in the year 2000, I could only make still images. There was no way to make any animations because it simply took so long. And for example, these are pages from a little bit of research I did in 2006. On each of these pages is code from my dissertation research. And that code went on to make images like this. These are vortex lines. This is looking inside turbulence. This is taking something that you can't normally see and instantiating these elements of turbulence, these vortexes, instantiating them so you can see them. So what are you looking at? You're looking through air, but you're seeing the structure of air, the structure of turbulence. It looks like I was using about 20 megabits per second on this video. I'm going to close with something that Frieder Naka said that really resonates with me. He said, you must dominate your tools as an artist because the material always resists. The algorithm is the material in digital art, so you must manipulate them. I love writing algorithms. I love seeing what the algorithms will create, and I love watching the results of the creation. My name is Mark Stock. Thanks very much for listening.